Hello, everyone. I want to introduce our research on topic promoting the Ukrainian Education and Culture Center, Oseredok, through the digitization of Ukrainian Studies archival collections in Canada. My name is Nataliia Vovk, and my co-authors are Ivan Khoma, Roman Holoshchuk, and Svitlana Muravska. The purpose of the study is to develop a conceptual model of digitizing of the Ukrainian Cultural and Education Center, Oseredok, in Winnipeg, Canada. On the slide, you can see our main research tasks, but I want to emphasize that the main task is not only analysis the theoretical basis of the study or the current state of digitalization of Ukrainian studies abroad, but we want to make some advices, make some model for future digitization Ukrainian found in archive in Ukrainian Culture and Education Center Oseredok in Winnipeg. The digitization of Ukrainian archives abroad can have a number of goals and benefits. Digitization of documents from Ukrainian archives located abroad contributes to the preservation and restoration of Ukraine's historical and cultural heritage. Digital archives allow for easy and more remote access to historical documents, in particular for researchers, students, teachers, and the public. Digitized copies can be stored in secure conditions to prevent further destruction of original documents. Access to digital archives can increase international interest in Ukrainian history and culture. Digital archives facilitate research and analysis of historical events and processes. Digitization of documents contributes to the support of Ukrainian communities abroad and their ties with the homeland. Digital archives can be used in educational programs to teach Ukrainian history and promote educational initiatives. Achieving these goals is quite possible thanks to the joint efforts of archivists, researchers, and public. To select the theoretical basis of the study, we have chosen the works of recent years that present practical solutions for the digitalization of archival collections and other various primary documents. It is based on the work of foreign researchers who have developed various models of digitalizations. It is worth noting that there is a small number of researchers from Ukraine who focus their research on digital communications between archives and the public different countries. The challenges associated with the production and publication of archival linked data are relatively well documented and included technological problems, the prevalence of unstructured data that is difficult to distinguish, lack of financial and qualified human resources, a low level of awareness of linking data within the profession, lack of archival linked data infrastructure, including tools, standards, and best practices. As a growing number of case studies demonstrate, many challenges can be overcome with the development of archival linked data practices. Moreover, recent large-scale projects have begun to provide some foundational ones. The researcher identified three integrated challenges that users may face when querying such distributed data sources, including query formulation, selecting a source, and reconciliation of data source. Feature on the slide shows a multi-agent architecture to overcome these problems, and we see that these models consist of two or three main elements: computing methodology, information system, and information retrieval. Next slide. In recent years, there has been a trend towards a synergy between cultural heritage institutions, for example, the cooperation of GLAM. It's galleries, libraries, archives, and museums in the field of information resources management. These institutions actively promote the creation of digital humanitarian projects. Such projects are primarily aimed at creating information resources and providing digital humanitarian services that correspond to the service function of GLAM institutions. At the technical level, methods such as knowledge graphs and ontologies are used to build a multi-level and systematic knowledge system. Different researchers, for example, that you can see on the slide, provide an overview of three models of cultural heritage. The first you can see Kaidok theorem family, Europeana at Sampo model, and considers three aspects of these models: building a technical structure, digital resources, and service systems. When we speak about our topic and when we want to achieve our goal, we must say a few words about background to the emergence of Ukrainian studies centers abroad. Due to the very complex state building and national liberation process on the Ukrainian lands during the 20th century, tens of thousands of representatives, Ukrainian political, military, spiritual, public, scientific, educational, and cultural elite were forced to leave Ukraine. Many Ukrainian figures began to move to the United States and Canada. Some moved to Australia, Argentina, Brazil, and other countries far from the European continent. Those who managed to continue to live safely in Europe in their old age began to transfer the accumulated materials overseas, or their relatives and friends did so. It was believed that storing documents in the United States or Canada was safer. As a result, millions of documents and tens of thousands of different artifacts have accumulated in these countries. Separate storage centers were formed around this, or these materials ended up at university libraries, city archives, etc. At present, we know about almost all the centers where Ukrainian literature is stored in the United States and Canada. Moreover, we know about the materials stored in these libraries and archival centers. Since independence, a few researchers have had the opportunity to work with these materials. Now on the slide, you can see different documents that are collected in archive funds in United States or in Canada, like business card, like a photo where we can see Ukrainian people, for example, Ivan Babarsky, and a work published for immigration peoples in Winnipeg in 1924. The issue is that the vast majority of documents have not been digitized, and there is no hope that this will be implemented in the near future. A very good example of digitization is the activity of the organizations of Ukrainian National Lists Archive of the Ukrainian Information Service in London. Many collections from the United States and Canada have been transferred here. The official website of this archive shows how the work is structured. This is a screen of online archive about I said. Another good example is the electronic archive of the Ukrainian Liberation Movement. The staff of the library of Ivan Franko National University of Lviv and the Center for the Study of the Liberation Movement are working on its development. The focus of this project is on digitizing archival documents from Ukrainian archives. Accordingly, the structure of the electronic archive linked the various Ukrainian state archives. This one about what I said now. One of the largest one of the largest repositories of documents, photographs, and videos in Ukrainian culture is in the Ukrainian Culture and Education Center in Winnipeg, Canada, founded in 1944. Its name is Oseredok. It included documents of famous Ukrainians who spent a significant part of their lives in Winnipeg. There are funds of Koshytsa, Ogienko, Bobersky, Konovalets, Andriev, Seleshko, Onatsky, and another famous Ukrainian. In the modern information world, digitizing can improve the access to these materials. It can be done according to the example above or by developing an independent methodology. It is not worthy that the Oseredok participated in one such project. Furthermore, it was back in 1905-1906. But today, the process of digitizing the funds of this educational foundation has been suspended. Therefore, the issue of resuming this work is very relevant. For the functional modeling and graphical description of the process of promoting the Ukrainian educational and cultural studies through the digitization of Ukrainian studies archival collection in Canada, it is advisable to use the IDF0 methodology that you can see on this slide. The next slide shows us conceptual diagram of process of promoting the center. We use data flow diagrams. The main process of the context diagram is the process of promoting the Oseredok through the digitization of archival collections of Ukrainian studies. It consists of digitizing and processing various types of materials and publications, posting their electronic versions of the official website of the center, and conducting promotional activities to attract new users. The context diagram shows three external entities: the digitization specialist, the PR manager, and the user of the official website. Using the proposed theoretical model for the complete digitization of the archival collection of the center, it is advisable to analyze and use the different digitization technologies. For example, use of scanners to convert paper documents in the digital format. For objects that cannot be scanned, digital cameras and smartphones can be used to take high-quality photographs of objects that can then be stored digitally. For audio and video recording, special devices should be used to convert analog sound or video into digital format. For scanned documents, which text needs to be recognized and converted into editable digital text, we can use OCR technology. Digitized data can be saved in various digital formats like PDF, JPEG, MP3, MP4, and another. During digitization, it is important to preserve information about objects, about metadata that describe their origin, date, authors, and another metrics. This will help to preserve the context and convenience for further use. Digitizing archives can be stored in cloud services or backed up to external media and to assure data security and availability. These technologies, about what I say, can be combined to ensure the best possible outcome for digitizing the branch archives, taking into account specific needs and constraints. The digitization of Ukrainian Canadian archives as a part of Ukrainian Culture and Education Center Oseredok is a significant initiative to preserve the historical and cultural heritage of the Ukrainian people. The main aspects of digitization of the center archival collections can be the follows: cooperation with the archival institution. Digitization of Ukrainian archival collections may be carried out jointly with other archival institutions. Scanning and digitization of paper documents, photographs, newspaper articles, and other materials of this center will allow preserving them in digital format and making them available for research and other people used. It is important to digitize audio and video recordings containing testimonies, interviews, musical performance, and other important aspects of the life of culture of Ukrainian people. The main task of the electronic archive will be to store and organize the digital archival materials of the center. It may include platforms for searching, viewing, and researching documents. The digitizing archives can be placed on the internet, providing access to it online. It allows researchers and public from all over the world to study and use these materials. It is important to create detailed metadata for digitizing materials to provide context and traceability. The digitized archives of the center will become an important resource for research, education, and preservation of the cultural heritage of the Ukrainian people abroad. Now we know that a lot of Ukrainian people are abroad because in our country is still a war. Adding digital copies of materials from the archival collections of Ukrainian studies in Canada to the online archive will help promote the activities of the center and increase the number of new users and researchers of Ukrainian history. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.